Sometimes we seem to keep a clean diet, a good diet, and then we up our training, but the weight doesn't drop off. Certain things I've spoke about with clients, and I'm not going to go into the big mindset things here as to why our body wants to hold on to weight and what we can do in our mind to go in it. I'm going to just look at the science behind it and what actually happens when we increase our training and alter our diet. Now, first off, the question came in and it was like, well, I've not actually changed anything in my diet. So the way I answer that is that, yes, you have. Like, we can't physically keep so much control in our diet that everything is 100% the same every single day. Our digestion isn't the same every single day. Even if we eat exactly the same things, exactly the same training, and live in the same building every day. First off, the climate outside is going to change even by 0.5 degree or something every day. It might be raining, it might be colder, it might be boiling hot. So your hydration is going to differ every day. The food we eat as well. You could go to the same supermarket, go to the same store, have the same potatoes every day, but they've been farmed a slightly different way. It's not in our control. The food labels as well. So we have a tin of tuna, for example. Now these food labels are plus minus 10%. You weigh that tuna out every single time, I guarantee you that it says drained weight 110 grams, for example. It might be 112, 114 one day, 106, 108 the next day. It might be 110 one day, but every single tin of tuna has got a little margin for error. So when we say we are eating 100% the same, chances are we aren't. Now, that's out of our control. So what can we do to make sure we are eating as close to 100% as possible? The first thing is to keep a complete food diary. And with this food diary, you make sure you write down every single thing that you eat. If you snack at something at your desk, you grab a Malteser, a little candy bar or something like that, that goes onto the food diary. You just keep that for 2 weeks. At the same time, you keep a training diary. Now, not only this, do you write your training, you write your food up, but you write how you feel 2 to 3 hours after this meal. Are you a little bloated? Are you a little bit lethargic? Are you feeling tired? Now, sometimes as well, what people have done is that they've increased their training, they have increased their carbohydrates, and now we already know that when you do put carbohydrates in your body is going to draw in water and put in like 3 to 4 grams of water per gram of carbohydrate, and that's going to fill your muscles up, so you perform better, you have more energy, and you are going to weigh more, but you are going to be burning more body fat that way, and you're going to be recovering better. So is it okay to just weigh a couple of pounds more on the scales and you actually lower in body fat? Yeah, it's fine. The other thing is that your training load increasing. With your training load increasing, then you do harder sessions. The recovery from those sessions is going to mean that you're going to have kind of like inflammation in the body. So your body weight, for example, if you run a marathon, you're running for 3-4 hours. The next day, once you're rehydrated, you are going to weigh a little bit more than you did at the start of that marathon. Why? Because your muscles are going to be inflamed. That's not weight. So when we weigh ourselves, it's good to look over time. So is there a gain over time? So slight gain over time. Okay, then we may need to cut back on the calories a little bit. But chances are there's going to be a bit of a gain. You can log that with your training. What I've actually had clients do in the past, and I don't recommend it for very long because it can get very obsessive, is weigh themselves every day for a month. During that month, especially it helps with ladies as well, obviously when it comes to your periods, you're going to put weight on. And I've seen people put 3 to 4 kilos on. So weigh yourself every day for a month. From there, then just see, okay, well I had a long run on that day, that was my recovery run, that was my rest day. So after your rest day, chances are you're going to weigh a little bit less, provided you've been on point with your nutrition. I went out that day, so that's when I had an Indian, went and had a naan bread, so that's going to mean I may have reacted and held a little bit more water because there was more salt in there. The consistency is going to show, and looking at the consistency, and I will happily Bubba, I know you asked the question. I will happily look over. If you do this for a month, I'll happily jump on a call, look over and see if we can actually see anything that jumps out. And if you don't want to do it for a month and you want to just hop on a call for 15 minutes to discuss it further, I am more than happy to do so. Because I know you're one of the good guys here and you are bloody dedicated to your training. So, to recap, track your food, track your training, track your weight. Be consistent and something will jump out. But be aware that just because you've gone up a pound or two on the scales doesn't mean that it is bad that you've put on body fat, because you haven't. Trust me.